This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian. I'm not going to talk a lot. Carol Register's going to talk for me. I'm just going to do some things and show a bunch of things at the Judy Garland event here in, where am I? West Hollywood, California. All right, Carol, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm just going to show a couple of images later, but you take over.
All right. Hey, how are you guys? It is lovely to be here with you tonight. And Howard may be joining us. Howard Wiggins, our amazing co-host. He was here a minute ago, and I'm looking forward to him being back. And I can't wait to see what you're going to show us, Brian. I know you're at the Judy Garland display, and I'd love to hear about it.
Well, the fun thing about this, as I go over this way, Vince Minato created this in conjunction with the Liza Minnelli family, Judy Garland's family, all of them 3 years ago. So it's the fragrance, it's everything, and it's beautiful. And I'll show you a picture in a minute as I go over here. But it's one of these things where when you see it, it's beautiful. You'll see a couple things like this. But this is really what it looks like chased in this glass cage right here. I can't really see it, but hopefully you guys can see it. It's one of those.
What a great venue.
Yeah, and then so there's a bunch of great food here, and it's a nice little crowd here, and it goes on until 8 o'clock tonight.
Hello, Ismael.
Well, hello. Check 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Let's translate it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Por supuesto.
All right. We're international today.
That's right. Yo hablo español.
I remember. You're over in Peru, is it?
Chile. But
Chile. That's right. One of those beautiful countries.
Yes.
Latin America.
That's right.
Well, I just got here, sponsored in part by Starbucks. When you're feeling run down, stop on by. Oh, it's 94 degrees out here. Came rushing in.
Where are you at?
Well, I'm in a place called, there's Lake Elsinore. There's a lake, and then there's this little hill and a little mountain. And at the top, it's called Canyon Lake. There's actually a real lake, little boats and little houses all around it. And then you go down the road, the hill, and it becomes Menifee. So up there, my coverage is horrible. So I come to this Starbucks to so you can hear me. Otherwise, it'd be flipping in and out. But it's very nice.
It's close to Temecula, right?
Temecula is south of here, about 20 minutes.
Okay. I'm kind of getting to know it.
Yeah, I actually taught Temecula Valley High School marching band the last semester. Took them to the championships. We finished 6th place overall. I taught marching and music. We took 3rd in marching in the state of California and 4th in music. So kind of proud. I worked really hard. Great kids there. And yeah, it is true. You could look up in the sky and you will see hot air balloons overlooking all the vineyards. Beautiful landscape.
Wow.
Wonderful kids.
That's amazing. And you're speaking Brian's language, right? You know that.
Well, yeah, both drum cornets.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Exactly. I remember that now. And I'd love for you to refresh the story about that.
Oh, much better. I blew it up.
How did you meet Brian?
Oh, you know what? I first met Brian I was an alumni for the Blue Devils, and we were at the Rose Bowl having a barbecue, alumni barbecue, and he popped in and started mingling around, and just never stopped coming back. Just I saw him at championships in Indianapolis. Just the shows, he's there. With his scooter covering everything and promoting everybody that he really believes in. I know he doesn't take clients just to take clients. He takes clients that he really believes in what they're offering. He's spoken to me about you several times. I'm like, I remember her from last time. In fact, I just talked to him this morning. I said, I'm coming into a little bit of money, and it's summertime, and I would love to go to Brazil. I've never been to Brazil, and
oh yeah, that would be nice. You have to come visit us in Chile too. It'd be really great to have you. I'd love it.
Is it pretty safe? Safer than now Los Angeles?
Yes. I say that with a hearty yes.
A hearty yes. I'll take that. Yeah, it's pretty sad what's happened, but people just need to grow up. That's really what it is. People our age, we learn to get along with all different colors. And I was actually talking to someone. I said, you know what? When I was in elementary school and someone didn't like me, and you could kind of tell it was the color of your skin because they thought they were better than you.
Yeah.
I would love it when we'd have Olympics because it gave you a chance to compete. And instead of throwing blows, I'd say, okay, try to outrace me. We're do the 400 dash. We're going to from here to the fences 4 times. And, they give awards. And so you did it that way. You earned your respect and say, hey, you know what? I could run. Or the spelling bee. I was a spelling bee champion.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Just because, it's things like that we achieve because we didn't want to get picked on. It's like, hey, at the end of the day, remember, I'm the spelling bee champion. So I just remember those days and how it was, and what they don't have nowadays. And the one thing they don't have a lot of is the motherly, tough love at home. Because now the mothers have to work or they're separated. Back then, my mom ruled with an iron fist. Trump would be like, whoa, can't handle this one.
My mom did too, man.
And that's what makes our fabric. Hey,
walk straight and fly right.
I had it tougher at home. I'd rather get beat up by the local bully.
Hey, Brian, I'm so excited about you being at the Judy Garland event. I just want to point that out. And I also want to point out that I love the way you talk about Giving Tuesdays. And there's Dreamweaver Arts, which supports the arts and artists. And, one of the people that I have really come to enjoy is somebody that you might know named Montague. And he has some incredible art. I want to give a shout out to him and the art that he shares and the support that both of you guys provide through Dreamweaver. I think that's really exciting. I also want to shout out Better Vision for Children and Their Eyes. And Better Vision for Children is an organization that helps children with to prevent childhood blindness, what I'm trying to say. And it's an organization that also assists kids in the California foster care system. So it provides them mentoring and support. It provides mentoring and support to the kids who are having eye problems. And that's something that's really important to, help kids to be able to walk forward with clear vision, not only through their physical eyesight, but through the vision of the dreams that they have as well. And that's really important, isn't it, Brian?
It's extremely important. All those charities need help. The arts need help. Museums, libraries, all of those things need help. Yeah. And it's one of those things. That's why I love the Drum Corps activity, because you can see what kids are doing on a football field, traveling, rehearsals. There's no activity like that. And then when you start taking things away from that, what are they going to do? Right, Ish?
Right.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. That's even though the activity has changed throughout the years, and I know Brian's going to put together through the years kind of history of it, it's all the same. We're a bunch of kids trying to find out who we are.
Yeah.
I'm away from mom and dad. You got to learn to behave. You get along with everybody, whether you like them or not, whether they're different or not, or you're the one that's different. You learn to get together because at the end of the day, you're there for a cause, and that's to win. And winning sometimes may not be first place. It might be just making finals. But it takes everybody's effort and focus to make things like that happen. And it doesn't matter then or now. I don't think human beings have changed. We still need love.
I love what you said about, it might not be first place, but yet it's still a win, because it really is relative. It really is about building your confidence. And one of the things I love talking about on the neuroscience side of things is that creativity is important to healing. Healing occurs in the creative part of the brain. And so when we're talking about activities, including the arts, that is something that assists not only families, children, adults, all of us with healing. And with what's going on right now and the controversy that's happening in LA, I could say we definitely need more creativity out there. We definitely need more healing out there. And there are tools for this. There are tools for us to connect and to get along. There are tools for us to share. We are all connected. And that's another thing. Even the quantum is showing us that, we have sister cells and we have mirror cells that can be across the globe from one another and yet be mimicking one another. There's some amazing tests that are going on in this way, have been for quite a long time, actually. And we don't realize that we're all connected, but we are. And when you really go deep and start to recognize that, then if I'm harming you because you're different than I am, I'm really, in essence, harming myself. And I think that's something that we can lean into right now, and we get to lean into.
Absolutely. You did touch on one thing, and I've been thinking about it all day. I've been enveloped in it since Sunday. I was thinking about it all of myself. I'm just doing some work, and it's quiet, and that's when I do some good thinking. And I was just realizing that I think a lot of people need more of the arts. And this is why I say this, not because I love it, but because if you've been in the arts and if you've been a designer, or even in music, how you interpret and express the music, we get judged. And one thing that makes it difficult for us is to be a designer, you got to let yourself go. You put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And then when someone dashes it with either a numerical evaluation or their interpretation, it kind of hurts. But you know what? You actually are putting everything of yourself out there, and that's where you really grow the most. And if you could learn, which is a difficult thing to do, to take criticism or improvement verbiage, if you will, however you want to word it, we grow from it. And I think the arts is a very difficult place to learn it because of that. We're fragile because we're putting ourselves out there, where a lot of people kind of hide like a turtle, and as a result of not allowing that creativity in the arts aspect in their mind grow, we get a lot of resistance out in the public because we shied away from being critiqued. Because who wants to be critiqued? We just want to be applauded, awards, and that's a wonderful. It's exactly right. When you're in the arts, I think you gain more than just studying algebra, being great at chemistry. I love biology because you learn about the world. But there's certain industries and certain disciplines that I think you can grow the most from. And a lot of it is what we think, because what we think, we can create. And when you create it, to you, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
People can elevate you and bring it down just so quickly. And I think that helps us develop as human beings, as creators, as judges, critique. I know Brian made a living doing movie reviews and more, and people valued his review. I always do. I said, I saw this movie this weekend, and we kind of compare notes, and feedback is really important because it affects the brain and neurology of what you have. And if you learn how to control it, you're absolutely right. You can have a wealth of knowledge that'll help you grow and help you handle that blow of criticism, be it good or bad.
I think you really hit on a couple of important points that one is when you're putting your art out there, your creativity out there, the vulnerability that takes and the courage, right? And one of the things I work with people on is going from 6 to 7 figures, particularly female leaders in their wealth. And there is a former CEO of, that, boy, I'm losing the company right now, so I won't say it because I don't want to misquote it. But one of the things he said that I thought was really important is that the universe rewards risk takers. And quite often we see that played out in the numbers with our wealth, but it also applies in what you were saying when we are building something and being creative, whether it's in cooking or, I am a former gymnastics judge, in athletics, in music, whatever it might be that we're being evaluated on. It takes courage to step up to the plate and put yourself out there that way. But that courage is so often rewarded. And so I love that you touched on that. I think that's a really important piece to inspire us to continue to take actions and stretch ourselves in those areas that, may feel uncomfortable, right? What are your thoughts on that, Brian?
Well, it's absolutely true, because I'm thinking of Howard at this point. If Howard hadn't taken the risk in collecting art at an early age and being an interior designer, who knows what direction he might have gone into. Howard, talk about that. That's important.
I did what I thought was right for me at the very beginning. I really started off being a veterinarian, and I went to college for 1 year, and I called my parents home and I said, this is not what I want to do. I thought because I love dogs and animals in the house, I didn't really think about it includes animals in the barn. So anyway, the design school's opening up in Franklin. Do you want to go to that? I said, sure, because I've always had pride in my room. My rooms always look better than anybody in the whole house because they let me do it myself. So it's just a natural born talent that I have,
And you acted on it.
Developed.
Yeah, you acted on it, and you've developed it. And, now you're one of the world's top 35 interior designers because you continued to play it out. And I love seeing the art in your home. So what room are you in now?
Upstairs hallway.
Upstairs
hallway. I call it art gallery. And then when I was top 35 leading into, I was in my 20s when I got that international award. I entered against thousands of people around the world, and it took about a year before they came up with the announcement. And then they called me on the phone, and I was at work, and they told me I had won, and I cried like a baby in front of everybody. It was tears of joy, but I had completely forgotten. I mean, I entered a year ago, and then out of the blue, they give me that call. So
that must have been so exciting. I can definitely understand the emotion, that happened and the surprise, right?
Correct. Out of nowhere. So.
Is there ever a time that you remember where you felt maybe vulnerable with one of the spaces that you designed, particularly for somebody else?
No, I know. No, there's no one that I feel can do what I can do. I've often said, there's a lot of people who can sing. There's a lot of people who have talent. But I deal with the public, and there's not many people that know what they're doing when it comes to design. I mean, they think they know what they like, but what they usually do is have an idea, and they're trying to make that idea come through. A true designer decides, all right, out of all the options there are, what's the best options for this space? One example I give, like if I ask you to put something in a corner of the room, 90% of the population will say a plant, because that's the first thing that comes to their head. So they go out and shop for a plant. there's grandfather clocks, there's tables, there's arts, there's fountain, there's nothing, there's sculpture. There's many different things you can put in the corner of the room. Out of all those, what's the best for the space? And I think if you approach it that way, it's a completely different avenue. So.
And stepping into your confidence and your gifts and skill set. Brian, I love seeing the background there, the stage that was behind you and just the venue as you're walking around. Are you still hearing the Judy Garland music?
Oh, hell yeah. So Howard, Vince is in the corner. I'm going to show him in a little bit, but it's one of these things Howard would love what's here. But it's also, you were talking about, Howard said this, not anybody, well, I say this, anybody can do what I do, but as Howard would say, not everybody can do what we do. Yeah. They don't put in the talent. They're not willing to take the chances. They don't put in the hours. They have no idea what this is all about. Ish understands this because this is like the drum corps world. You perfect the show. Hours and hours and hours of all the stuff that we're doing, and you don't see it unless you go to rehearsal. But nobody sees all the stuff that we're doing, even tonight. You know, I lost my voice yesterday. Carol knew I couldn't talk yesterday. So I said, I'm not going to say anything. But it's one of these things. I have to be here. Not only do we have a streak still going, we have weird connections and everything happening. We got protests going on in Los Angeles. I did 3 events Sunday. I was supposed to talk to the comedian Tiffany Haddish, and the publicist go, Brian, why aren't you here? Well, Eric Kay and his wife, I was hoping to promote them in Flintridge at the bookstore. So again, the arts were more important for me. In the end, they were very, very happy that I was there.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You were there with Eric Fogay, the author, and with the wonderful Pegasus series. Is that what he was showcasing there?
Yeah, he did a nice book signing on it. I was very happy for him. But what really works well is him and his wife talking about it. His wife knows every detail. That couple talking about it is what will win him to get this. So August 19th on our show, Cindy Cowan from Cindy Cowan Entertainment is going to be there. Eric, his wife, and Aaron Gavin. If you remember Aaron Gavin, the Scottish, Irish director, actress, singer, she's going to be on. That'll be great because who knows what Cindy could do with Eric's books. And that is important to me. And that's why we do all the stuff that we're doing. And then to go off into another direction, Ish, talk about iTour travel translators. And then I think we got a video to show too.
Okay, I'm just going to introduce it real quick because I really love all the guys that are on here. And Carol. Howard, finally get to be on one with you. But yeah, so a big thing about instruction, because I do teach a lot of music and the marching and the arts, and kind of like a director, you have to be able to communicate. Communication is the key. If we could communicate what we see in our mind, you know, the vision, and get them to portray it, then we've succeeded. Well, sometimes there's a thing called language barrier. And I really love what this company has done. I'm going to go ahead and show you these little translators. There they are. So these little puppies here, it's only one little like cell phone. They come apart. I go ahead and hand one to the person I'm talking to. I don't understand their language. And actually, when I did the training with Brian and the person in charge, I was in Mexico. So some of these little words in here, basically, you're just talking to this part here, and then you say, I want to speak Portuguese, I want to speak Spanish, at that time of Spanish. And the other person has a little calculator, you will, and it writes it out for them. And the beautiful part is, hopefully you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. So it's a wonderful thing to sit there at a cafe like I'm at right now and say, here, you hang on this one, I'll hang on this one. I talk into this one, and it actually writes it here, and then it says it out loud. So you can learn it, you can communicate. And it's a beautiful thing, language is, because when you can communicate, you could do more things with it together. I know Brian's going to go ahead and show you a little bit more about it, but this is how small they are. They're easy to use, and they're super cool. And I look forward to taking it to the red carpet and interviewing people that I can't speak to and be able to connect. Because, Howard connects with people. He gives them their vision. He walks away from his design. That's communication in a different way. this is really cool. Go ahead, Brian, show them the video, and it'll really do a great job of explaining it.
How many languages?
iTourTranslator translating AR glasses. Put on the glasses and see real-time bilingual subtitles. Unlimited free use of translations with no additional charge. Paired with our watch, enjoy seamless two-way communications. You can see the translated subtitles in your glasses when the other person speaks in a foreign language. When you speak in your language, the translation broadcasts through the watch for the other person to hear. Supports translation for over 100 languages with high accuracy. Perfect for international travel, foreign enterprise, foreign language meetings, and international students. It also automatically scans and translates text. Sunglass clip-on lenses are included with the glasses purchase. Customizable prescription magnetic lenses are also included. One pair of glasses effortlessly overcomes language barriers and is an ideal companion for the hearing impaired. When paired with iTourTranslator earbuds, translations can also be broadcasted in real time, allowing you to understand various languages quickly. Put them on and instantly understand what others are saying.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that one is for the translator and the glasses because they have other things that they're doing. And Cash is busy, so that's why they're not on right now because they're busy meeting the offices and just got back from conventions. The next one, they'll talk about what Ismail talks about.
Here's another thing that's also good about it, because this conversation was actually the training I had back in Mexico. So the cool thing about it is I'm actually able to save the whole conversation digitally, save it and email it to, let's just say Brian couldn't make it.
Wow.
Here, I can send it to you. You could change, put it in a different language you need. It translates it for you and it archives it. So you don't have to try to explain, hey, how did the trip go? What did he say?
Yeah.
Just put it on our speakers, sit back, get some popcorn, and you can hear the whole conversation translated for you. It's got a tremendous amount of usage. I do travel a lot. If I went to Chile, I definitely will be carrying it just so it'll come in their accent. It'll have their accent.
Where were you 11 years ago?
Oh, this is awesome. And I met a girl in Brazil, and I told her that I used it. I sent her a little message, and I said, I want to go to Brazil. I want to meet you, and I want to try these out. And she's like, you just want to date? I said, yes. But I said, I want to be able to understand you. So these little gadgets are real thin, easy to put in your pocket, quick charge. The charge lasts a long time. But the nice thing about it is it has your conversation saved for you. So you don't have to try to remember what happened. Those beautiful trips we made, all the things we see, the things we ate, the people we met, the jokes and the views. At least the conversation is going to be stored. Because just like Howard has, look at the room he's in. So much character in there. It would be volumes of books just to describe all the detail and why he put and selected each item. And I'm sure there's a story for it. So this item is awesome for that.
Wow.
Let's take a look at this next clip.
Our app meets all your translation needs. Simultaneous voice translation, phone translation, video call translation, cross-app translation, document translation, and photo translation. Open iTourTranslator and choose the transcribe function. We offer a variety of translation packages: Premium Transcribe, Regular Transcribe, Deep L Transcribe, and Basic Transcribe. Simply click the Start button to start translating.
Good morning, everyone. As we approach the
Our transcribe
conclusion of our
function
semester,
offers bilingual subtitles for easy understanding.
the final examination.
You can mark script, highlight key points, insert images, and even edit your translation script while in use. With automatic recording, you'll never miss important details.
Good morning, everyone. As we approach the accumulation of our semester, I want to ensure each of you well prepared for the final examination.
And you can also export your subtitle scripts in just one click. Transcribe function is perfect for translating online and in-person classes, ensuring seamless communication. It's ideal for translating online videos, making content accessible to a global audience. And for online meetings on platforms like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, and Tencent meetings, our transcribe function ensures smooth communication across languages. Open iTourTranslator Dial the number
Again.
or choose a contact from your address book in your phone.
This is
You
incredible.
can also add a preset phrase before the call, which can be sent to the other party at the beginning of the call.
I'm going to use a translator to talk to you. Is that okay?
When calling someone, the receiver's phone doesn't need to have an app installed. The foreign language spoken by the receiver is instantly translated into the language you've set, displaying bilingual subtitles on your phone screen. When you speak, your words are translated into foreign language audio for the receiver
I
to
would
hear.
like to make an appointment for my wisdom teeth.
No need for your video call receivers to install any additional app. Simply send them the invitation link. During the call, the foreign language spoken by the receiver is instantly translated into the caller's set language, appearing as bilingual subtitles on the phone screen. More social media platforms are available in the app. Simply open iTourTranslator and select the cross-app translation function. Then, start watching your favorite content as usual. Translated bilingual subtitles will seamlessly appear on the screen, ensuring you never miss a moment. When watching foreign language live streams or movies without translation or subtitles on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and more, activating our cross-application translation feature is easy. What's more, you have full control. Adjust the font size and subtitle box position to suit your preferences and viewing environment. Our cross-application translation feature bridges language barriers effortlessly, making foreign content accessible and enjoyable across various platforms. Upload documents in 29 formats, such as Excel, PPT, Docs, WPS, or PDF, for a quick and accurate translation while retaining the original formatting. Simply aim at road signs, menus, labels, books, and more to automatically translate the text. No need to take a picture for recognition and translation. You can also save and extract the translation text you scanned.
Dialpad AI works for you and your.
I'm in, Ismail.
Wow, you know what? I didn't know that they have that phone option. I want to get on that right away because I thought I was limited to just it being within range. I definitely going to do the phone function with my friend in Brazil or even in Mexico, just because that opens up the whole market to way worth it.
I'm thinking
That's the wrong
agree.
version that people.
Yeah.
That's the wrong version that people don't know of all the other stuff that it does. Because for me, when I'm watching foreign movies, I don't know if anybody's seen this. Not all the closed captions come about, so I've been watching that and listening to it on my iTourTranslator.
Yeah,
Now,
this is-
I definitely have to do that phone call. That's my next project. I got to do a phone call. I mean, you know, I put a lot of money into this iPhone 16 Pro Max so I could see it, not to show it off, but it's just I need a bigger screen. But hey, if I could get this app on here and communicate and have it work the way it does on here, I mean, it's just a game changer. I mean,
Yeah.
I do a lot of international business, and that's the hardest thing is about it's trust, right? Well, how do you build trust when you don't understand the person? This changes the whole game. I can't wait to try the phone function.
And when you're speaking English, I can easily see the subtitles very quickly.
That's very good. I would like to know since how long you're selling this product? 我们这个产品呢，我们才刚刚生产出来。
As for our product, we have just produced it.
我们现在刚刚开始在中国进行销售，我们现在只开始卖了1个星期。
All the way to the start of selling for a week.
How many languages does it support? 它支持翻译超过100。
Now, Howard, if you do end up going to Thailand, that's what you need. It'll help you a great deal.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Going to Asia, there's a bunch of countries that are on my list in Asia. And Greece keeps popping up over and over and over again. So.
I hear the Greek islands are the most beautiful thing in the world. So I said, you know what? if I ever get a chance, there's a 2-week cruise that'll take you to the Greek islands. It'll take you to Spain, the Colosseum, and then Italy. And I'm like, that's me.
That's the one.
Like Howard, and I'm on vacation. I'm gone, and I'm just going to enjoy life. To have something like that at your fingertips, invaluable.
I wish you'd teach my phone how to understand something.
Choking up a little bit.
That's a good one, Howard. I like that one. That's funny. Hey, Carol, talk about what was going on for you on Friday on your books.
Okay, Friday on my books. Wait a minute. What was going on?
Your book club.
Oh, yeah. The book club actually every Friday is amazing. There have been so many things happening this past week, Brian, that my brain is mush right now. But it's all good things. It's amazing things. So I have a Worthy Book Club. We're in the book Believe It right now by Jamie Kern Lima. And we're just having an amazing time with a lot of things going on. So prompt me about what I shared with you, because I'm having trouble remembering. Brian, do you know?
Oh, just every Friday, what you do? Getting everybody together on Zoom.
Yeah, just it's an amazing group, and it's a group particularly for a lot of us female leaders to be able to put our oxygen masks on first and just lean in and fill our cups, because a lot of times we spend our time giving and not getting filled up and having a lot of distractions. So this is a community that's free community where we just come and get together and support one another in, putting our oxygen masks on first. And then, Brian, I also want to mention coming up this week on the Unleashed and Unstoppable podcast, we have the amazing Deb Drummond, who was just on here recently with, she was on here alone, and then she was on again with her fantastic son Ocean, who's got the amazing clothing line, which I absolutely love, that streetwear line that is incredible. And I'm excited to share that interview that we did with her, and it'll be on Thursday. So that's pretty cool. And then one more thing, if you guys don't mind me throwing it out right now, I am doing a master class on Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's Heal Your Limiting Money Stories to Unlock Your 7 Figures. And I'm going to give you some universal wealth laws that you can apply immediately. There's no sales in this class. I will give an overview of the program that I have, my year-long program, but it's exclusive. It's private invite, so you have to qualify for it. Just come in and get some value on what you can do to start unlocking your wealth right now and to heal those scarcity stories that are operating in our background, and those hidden fears like, I don't think it's meant for me. If I have wealth, I'm going to turn into the Wolf of Wall Street. No, that isn't the way it works. And I help you to know from a neuroscience basis why that may not be the case.
I got a question, Carol.
Yeah.
Is this for a person that has a business or is thinking about opening a business and on the fence and too scared to take a dip in? Or is it someone that just completely started? No, I'm a day-to-day hourly guy. And can you inspire them to create a business, something they will do? What could someone expect on that day?
I love that. The masterclass is open to the public. So it's open to anybody who wants to come in and learn what happens when you start to heal those money blocks and operate by universal wealth laws. Those universal wealth laws are just like the laws of physics. And in fact, Brian is an amazing example of one of them that I teach, called Pearson's Law. It's often used in productivity, but it has to do with tracking. And the law states what you measure grows, what you measure and report grows exponentially. And you do that, multiple times a week on keeping track and analyzing all the views that are here for movie reviews and more. Over 750 million right now and growing. So he actually practices that principle and has experienced those and is experiencing those exponential results. So I'd say whoever you are, wherever you're at on the wealth scale, to answer your question, come on in. You know, the information's available for all of us.
And what time and date is that again? Just one last time?
That is on this Thursday, June 12th, and it is at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, 11 a.m. Thursday. Thank you so much for that info. I'm going to pop on in, take a seat, and see where it takes me.
I would love to. And if you look at the what's scrolling across the bottom, you can go to successuniquelyyours.com/masterclass.
Hey, Howard, a bunch of people have been asking the last couple of weeks how and why Howard became an art collector, and what do you get out of it? Because in other words, they want to know, how do they become an art collector and why?
I think I wanted to be an artist when I was young, but I never did go to. Well, I went to art school. I didn't like it. I thought it took my creativity away. So when I did interior design, I'm just creating with materials rather than paint. And then it's just a love of mine that I've had all my life. So, and it's paid off well. I'm about to move to Chattanooga, and I've got 2 art pieces that are bringing me a great return, so great that I can move to a much bigger home. So, and I did that when I was in my 20s. So, you know, there's a lot of magazines you can get, just like anything else. I used to go to the bookstore. I get the international magazines. I see the interior design around the world, not just locally. I would get the art magazines and do it. But art, fashion, anything creative that uses that right brain of your mind, it's all the same thing. It's the same principles. It's the same principles to create art or design or fashion or music or anything. Once you know your formula and you know how to use it, you can do it over and over and over again. So, and what works for some people will not work for others. You've got to find out what works for yourself and learn from your mistakes and grow. Fortunately, I didn't really have many mistakes. I just love it too much.
Can you have a good eye or something that you're born with?
I think it's exposure. It's just like anything else. If I had not gone to interior design school, and my first love is antiques, I would have been probably an antique collector. But going to design schools makes me appreciate contemporary art, Chinese style, country French, anything you can throw at me, I can appreciate it. I appreciate anything that's done well. And for that reason, I can work with anyone, no matter if you're a minimalist or a maximalist, or if you don't like color or you do like color, the principles are the same. So I can apply. I may not like it for myself, but I can certainly create it for you, because I'm going to give you the best look you possibly can have, because I understand the logic behind it.
I love that. I love that. You know, that you cater it and customize it to the individual and what they like, while you have developed this incredible personal style, you know, the layered and stacked that you do. That, I mean, you're in a hallway, for heaven's sakes, and you've turned it into an art gallery. You know, that's really cool, Howard.
The whole house is that way, and I'm buying more. There's some I've got today that I hadn't posted yet.
I love that.
You know, it's people follow me to see what I'm wearing to clothes. Now, you know, you can follow me on Facebook, see what I bought today, or what I'm going to buy tomorrow, or what I'm going to do. I just do it all the time. I mean, I cannot have a day off and spend it completely in the house. I'm like, I at least have to go shopping for 3 hours to get my fix. Even if I don't buy anything, I still got to go.
I get that. That's like me wanting to go to the movies just to get away and not answer my phone. I get it.
Exactly. It's my joy, my pride. Yeah.
Having a good,
Give me social media links for everybody, what you got coming up. And then coming up drum corps shows.
Who's that? Did you reach out to me?
Yeah, give your social media links and then talk about the upcoming drum corps shows.
Oh, well, I'm basically, let's see, what am I? I'm Ishweiser, like Budweiser. Ishmael Hernandez, and I love drum corps. Well, what is drum corps? Well, yeah, I'm Ishmael Hernandez. It's real simple. You'll find me. I'm going to have a blue uniform probably started a couple days here. I'm going to put it up as my profile so you'll find me. And we have local shows here. I'm in Southern California. We'll get started about first part of July, right after the 4th of July, I believe the 7th. We'll have a couple practices you can go to when the corps come in, and then they'll be competing on the weekend. But one thing I really love to do, which is aside from just the performance, is I love to go to the rehearsal, and they'll post it. This year, the Boston Crusaders are coming from the East Coast, number 2 place last year, coming on the West Coast. The Blue Devils, which is a group I was a part of, won many 22 world championships. So they're going to be going head-to-head right off the bat in the beginning. So I definitely will be going to the Boston rehearsal. It's an open rehearsal. Come in, just bring a little hat, nice little cold drink, and just enjoy the rehearsal. And then you get to see them tear apart the show, define, isolate, and refine each part. And in the end, they do a full production. And you feel like, wow. I mean, you get to see the show in competition with the uniforms and all the pizzazz. You'll understand it so much more. You'll get so much more out of it. And then you'll wish they'll come back again. But they're on the road the next day to another show. And that's going to be like the first part of July. End of June, you definitely want to be checking out maybe where they're going to be staying. Maybe map out what group you want to be watching in practice and the performance. And I always love it because I see a lot of old friends. And to me, it's become a big part of the musical part. I love the competition. I love the music. I love the show designs. Early on in the season, you won't see a lot of designs yet. They're not developed, but you'll have a really strong etching of the full production. And if you've been around the activity, you know you can't wait to see that one person you haven't talked to a couple of years, and all of a sudden they're right in front of you. So there's a lot to do, especially if you got kids. Like how we were saying, you gotta get them involved, expose them to it, get in front of a horn line, get in front of a drum line, get in front of the dancers. Because nowadays the girls got 4-6 years of professional dancing. They're great. So there's something for everybody. And me, I love my hot dog, popcorn, and a drink. Why not, right? I'm watching the show. So come on down, check out the calendar. It'll be Southern California, end of June, first part of July. Don't miss it, because when they're gone, you got to go to San Antonio or Colorado to see them again.
Howard, talk about that art over your left-hand shoulder really quickly, and the social media links.
The one on the door? Which one? Anyway.
Yeah, right over here.
Which one?
The little cat and below, that's a Bun Gray. And then the one is one I got at Bennett Gallery. I've got 2 of his pieces. Usually what I do is once I get into one artist, I'll have 3 or 4 of them, and then I'll get into another one and do it. And then I like to mix with antiques. I like antiques. I like contemporary. I like the juxtaposition of whatever I have. I even have downstairs, I've got like hinges from old doors hanging on the wall. I want something unexpected. I want you to walk in and experience something that you've never seen in anybody else's house. One of my sayings is,
that's cool.
A house that has art and antiques and original pieces cannot be duplicated. You cannot duplicate this because they're all one of a kind. And anytime, like the other day, I found an antique piece from the 1700s that they used to cook over a stove, and it has a ratchet mechanism with a big old copper pot. You go by Facebook, you'll see it, but I've never seen one. So when I walked into the store, I'm like, I've got to have that. When I move, I'm going to do an outdoor an outdoor fireplace. I thought, well, I can have people on the lawn and cook chili or or something like that and serve everybody the way they did in the 1700s.
How fun. Yeah.
So just create an experience that's new and different. And that's the way a home should be. I don't want to go in a home that everybody else's home looks that way. And, I want to go into a home that looks like that personality, that reminds me of them, not a time period. And that's what I try for in my clients. I'm like, trends are called trends because they come and go. If you create something original, it's always original. So when somebody comes into your house, they'll think of you. They won't think of 2025. And that's what I strive for. So.
And Carol, I'm not going to say anything. You get to close the show in at least an unstoppable way.
Oh, I am so excited to close it that way, Brian. Thank you for sharing about Judy Garland. Thank you, Howard, for sharing about how we can become art collectors and the importance of that and having unexpected pieces. I think that's so exciting. And Ismail, it's been wonderful to have you back and hear about what you're doing with Drum Corps and inviting us into the rehearsal of it. That's very exciting, to be able to see kind of the big picture point of view and the breakdown of the way it all works. And so I'm so glad you guys have been here. I want to invite you again to the masterclass on this Thursday, the 12th at 11 a.m. PST. There are some amazing bonuses, no sales, just come in and receive the value of what I'd love to give to you to have the tools to change your life. And we'll see you next time. And ciao for now. Bye.
Well, I definitely would. Howard,
yes,
I like that little statue behind you, the little horseman.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to know more about that.
Chinese ivory pieces from about 200 years old.
That's super cool. Bye, guys.
Right. You guys have a good one. She has like a